5 years ago, 6 years ago, if you looked for a business information, any business, you would go on Google, you would Google something, you would get a bunch of blue links, you would click on the link, and you would go into their website. Their website had all the information that you needed, whether it's how to get to the business, the location, the address, phone numbers, the reviews, opening hours, services, products, menus, okay? Remember, we're talking about the generic market, so because you could have services, you could have products with pricing, you can have menus, you can have team information. All of that was included and still is included on the website, which is important. However, research shows us that businesses get 2.7 more views on publishers than on their websites. And these publishers can be Google, can be Facebook, can be Yelp, can be MapQuest, can be specific niche websites like we know we have for healthcare with Empathic. We know we have Vital, we have WebMD, we have those kind of websites. We have the same kind for restaurants. We have the same kind for cars. So there are a lot of niche sites, and those sites are getting 2.7 more views than businesses' own websites. And that requires a tremendous investment from a business that now says, oh dear, now I need to take all the information that I have on my website and put it on all those websites because people actually view me more there and they don't see my services, they don't see my pricing, they don't see my reviews, they don't see anything. How would I impact them? Now I need to pour all that resources and hard work into all these different websites. Very hard. And here are some stats from Yext that we got from their customer base, which is more than 1 million small businesses. 334.4 million phone calls in 2016 and 622.9 directions in 2016 from publishers outside the website of their customer base. Okay? These are tremendous numbers, true numbers. And like we said, they're not coming specifically just from Google or Facebook or Yelp. They're coming from a bunch of websites in many niche categories, and even a lot of traffic that is coming from long tail websites that you wouldn't consider as a main website to get found on. Because people are doing some focus searches, they might find you on those long tail websites. And there are more than 100 publishers they have on their network internationally. In the United States, it's close to 71 or 72. And now we need to take all that information the business had on the website and add it everywhere. Whether it's on Facebook, on Google My Business, on Yelp page, on Foursquare, because I have more views there as a business owner. I get more views on Facebook and Google and all those places than I get on my websites. Obviously, I need to be able to convert people there. How would I convert people if all they see is my name, address, and phone number? No, they need images, they need videos, they need information about my pricing, they need information about my services, they need CTAs, like call for action, like a button that says learn more or call now or buy this. And they need it everywhere. So now I need to invest all that take all that and invest it in all those different places. Some stats about that from a conversion perspective, about how impactful rich information is, we can see here they're actually going to get 416% more listing views and 240% more Yelp page views if they have a complete profile on publishers' websites, on directories, on search engines, than a fourth of a profile, which is, in of itself is even more than most businesses have. These are tremendous numbers. Just think about it. How much more traffic can you get with what seems to be a very simple thing to do? But it's not so simple because most businesses don't understand that you can have one record of truth to distribute all your information from, and it's done immediately, and that information is being locked, and they think they need to do it manually, and that's very hard. By 2020, 50% of searches will be voice search. Okay, voice search is among the many reasons that search is becoming much more focused. Okay, we went through this. People are doing much more focused searches. They're talking to their Siri, they're talking to their Google, they're talking to their Alexa, and they're saying, "Hey, I want a Chinese restaurant near me, open now, gluten-free menu that has egg rolls and veggie egg rolls." Now, that's a very focused search, right? And it could be even more focused. Like we give the example on healthcare that people are looking for a physician that has a certain specialty and also accepts Blue Cross. I'm looking for a restaurant that accepts reservations, that has paid parking. Okay, um, is Wi-Fi available? You have all these different options, and voice search is accelerating that focus search adoption. How would a search engine know all that information if the business doesn't provide that information to the search engine? If they don't mention what visas they accept, if they don't provide their open hours and close hours even on holidays in a structured manner, if they don't say they're wheelchair accessible, if they don't mention they have parking or paid parking, they would not come up. Okay, so in the meantime, it's becoming a 0-1 game for many businesses. It's not only about not being on the local pack, it's not being because you don't provide enough information to show up on those specific focus searches. So that's another reason why you need all that information that we just mentioned everywhere. So everywhere you get found, everywhere search engines go, whether it's on your site, whether it's on Yelp, whether it's on Google My Business, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on MapQuest, whether it's on Dex Media, whether it's on Yellow Pages, whether it's on a bunch of other directories, they're going to get all the information in a very structured manner so they can understand that, yes, you are open. Yes, you do have a gluten-free menu. Yes, you do have Wi-Fi. Yes, you do sell these and these toys. Okay? Because you can include in the profile that you distribute everywhere, you can include even products, pricing, all the menu items. You can include services and pricing. So you can actually include everything about your business to be everywhere all the time. Then you can do it in a very simple way because you create one record of truth and that is being distributed across the web. And that's key, like we said, to be impactful and create conversion and to get found on focus searches. Second thing we're looking at, so that was rich content and why do we need it everywhere all the time. Second thing we're looking at is reviews. Reviews today are basically prominence, right? Basically, they are equal reputation. We would not work with a business that doesn't have good reputation, and we would not work with a business that doesn't have good reviews. Some stats for you. 90% of customers read online reviews before visiting a business. 90%. Like almost all of them. 88% of consumers trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. 88%. It's as much as a person, one of your friends coming to you and saying, this is a good store, this is a good cleaner, this is a good lawyer. Most people give the same trust to an online review even though they don't know the person. Now, a stat you don't see here, and it's very important, people between the ages of 25 and 34, 46% of them actually give more trust to online reviews than they do to recommendations from friends and family. Interesting, right? They trust more mass stats than they do a personal recommendation. They work like cluster computers today, the kids. And not the kids, a 30, 34-year-old person is not a kid anymore, but people who are a bit younger, from a younger generation, are now looking and saying, look, I trust more the fact that this business has 230 4.5-star average reviews than the personal opinion of my friend that I might not agree with. And that has some logic to it, right? It has some logic to it. So not only do 88% of customers trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations, we see a growing number of people trusting online reviews more than they trust personal recommendations. 72% of customers will take action only after reading a positive review. Just so we understand what that statistics means. It means they'll review, they'll browse, but before they actually buy, they will quickly see if, or before they actually get into their car and drive to the business, they will quickly check out their reviews. Okay? So even if we have information online and we did get found somehow, and we do have the exact item that that person who was searching has, just before they're going to get into their car and drive to my store, they're going to say, okay, just let me check his online reviews. 72 people. That's an enormous number. And then if they see 2.5 stars, they'll say, okay, I don't think so. And they'll continue browsing. That's a showstopper. 86% of people will hesitate to purchase from a business that has negative online reviews. Now, negative online reviews, guys, let's just put it in perspective. Doesn't mean that that business has a 1.5 star review, average reviews. It could also mean that the first, like let's say you go into Yelp, the first two reviews that you have on Yelp, even if the business has, let's say, an average of 3.8, the first two reviews that you see are 1 star or 2 stars and a bad testimonial. Those would be the first two, and immediately when you see the first two, you're saying, look, might be, you're moving on. You're moving on because you're thinking to yourself, okay, I can continue reading, but why? There are so many options. I'll just choose the store nearby. Maybe it's 3 minutes more to drive. Maybe the item there cost $4 more, but they have 4.5 reviews and raving top recent reviews. Because people care about recent reviews. Actually, most people would not consider a review that was not produced in the last 3 months as a valid review. And think about it, if you go into a Yelp page or a Google, it doesn't matter where, or a WebMD if it's a doctor, and you'll see the last review was 6 months ago, let's say. You will raise an eyebrow. You would say, how come? And bad reviews have tremendous negative effect. Tremendous. Let's look at the right. On average, a 1-star increase on Yelp leads to a 5 to 9% increase in a business revenue. Listen to this. 1 star on Yelp can add up to 9% to your bottom line. Your top line. That's insane. It means if you're going into a business today and you're pitching broadly, you're pitching and you're saying, look, if we can take your 2.8 or 3.2 to a 4.2, that alone would increase your top line by 5 to 9%. Let's say an average, let's say 7%. How much are you making today? I'm just going to take a number. Let's say $500,000 a year. Okay? So just by doing this for you, and I can do this for you in the first 2 months of the service, just by doing this for you, 7%, okay, from $500,000 is how much? $35,000. My service costs less than $3,000 a year. Do you think that's worth it? Okay, if I can add $35,000 to your revenue and you'll pay me back $3,000, you think that's a good deal? It's an insane deal, right? Obviously, don't start with that. That can be something that you add on as part of the pitch, but it's a very important statistics to remember. Second thing you have is the flip side of it, negative reviews. Negative reviews can cost you up to 30 customers, stats say. These stats are specific for Yelp, but you can imagine how it will affect you negatively on many other review websites, right? And especially if it's a recent one, right? If a person now comes in and seeing the last in the top immediate review that they see on their screen, which is the last 2, 3, 4 reviews, they see a negative review, that's very impactful. Very, very impactful. So we already know today that review is equal to reputation. If you don't have good reviews, people will not buy from you. That's it. You don't have good reviews, you're lost. Second thing that reviews help with is prominence, right? Google has three main local ranking factors: relevance, which we solve with rich information. We tell the basically the search engines if we're relevant to the search. Distance, which we don't control. That business is either close or not close to the searcher. And three, prominence. Prominence, as far as Google is concerned, is review amount and ranking. Okay, and also review new reviews. New reviews coming in on a constant basis are an important factor for Google's algorithm. It doesn't help if you didn't get reviews for the past 6 months. You won't show up top on the local pack even if you have a 4.8 average. Okay, and a business that is currently creating reviews all the time, even with a lower ranking, would usually show up higher than you. So reviews are key to getting found online and getting on the top of the local pack on Google and on every other search engine around. And when we look at the future of search, we also see a disruption in where different engines search. We have Siri, belongs to Apple. Google is obviously Google Alphabet. You have Echo or Alexa that belongs to Amazon. You have Bing and their AI. I forget the AI name they have on mobile phones, which is actually very good, that is doing their own search. You see more and more proprietary solutions. You see other AIs coming into action, like Watson from IBM, taking over dedicated searches in many, many places. They take information from different sources. They don't all buy their information from Google. So you might get different results searching with different search engines, different AIs. That is an even bigger reason to make sure that no matter where the different search engines are taking their information from, you always provide them structured, full, rich information in a way they can understand and find you. And that means you're covered across Amazon, meaning Alexa, Microsoft, Bing, Google, Siri from Apple, IBM Watson, and many, many others. Okay, and this is now, and it's accelerating. So I'm gonna provide you two recaps. One is a general textual recap, and I'm also gonna do a point by point recap because I know people perceive information in different ways. Recap for all businesses. Businesses need their information everywhere across the web to increase exposure and get found by search engines. Simple. Businesses need reach accurate data to convert searchers into buyers, meaning you need to show a beautiful, rich information profile to be impactful, to convince a person to actually choose you, and to provide search engines with structured data for focused and mobile searches, meaning if you don't provide enough information, you won't show up on focused searches. Businesses need a lot of top ranking reviews to get to search engine ranking and to convert searchers into buyers, because we said if I see a business with a low ranking or no reviews, I'm not going to choose that business. I'm going to choose the business showing right next to it with 4.5 stars or 4.2 stars and 200 reviews. And that's just the reality. Now let's do it bullet by bullet, because repetition helps us remember, and bullets sometimes help us remember more than block text. Okay, why do you need to be everywhere all the time with ton of top ranking reviews? Getting found. You need rich information everywhere all the time because search engine people are doing focus searches focus searches, and if you don't provide the search engine with the information, you won't get found. Getting found too. Info everywhere. Okay, many search engines are searching information about you in different locations. Google algorithm is putting more weight on Google, obviously, on Facebook, on Yelp. Alexa algorithm is putting more emphasis on Yelp when it comes to small businesses, and so on and so forth. So you need your information to be rich everywhere on the web, so it doesn't matter which search engine a user uses, you'll still get found and be top ranked. Getting found, point three. You get 2.7 more views on publisher sites, search engines, social networks than you do on yours, right? More people are seeing you not on your website. So obviously you need to be impactful wherever they see you. You need to have a beautiful, fully informative profile wherever people search for you, which is mostly not on your website, wherever people find you, sorry. So the third bullet is you need to, getting found, you need to have all that information to be impactful. Getting top ranking. Reviews is equal prominence, okay? To get top ranking on search engines, you need a lot of good reviews. We already explained why. Getting top ranking, accurate information equals clear signal. One of the most important factors for search engines to decide if a piece of information is accurate or not, okay, because they don't really know if you're on 1330 Avenue of the Americans. They didn't pick up the phone and called the owner and asked them. They're looking for the same information from many, many different sources. Okay, like a ton of different sources. They go very long tail. They search for that information accuracy across the web. So if you have accurate information, in this example, the exact same address on 70 different publishers, directories, search engines, and social networks, that means you have a very clear signal, and the search engine will say, yes, this information is accurate. This business is providing me accurate information across the web. I'm going to give them a higher weight when people search for their niche because I know their information is real and true. Converting when found. Rich profiles, impactful like your site, right? Converting when found, reviews equal reputation. So getting found, getting top ranking, converting when we get found requires all our information, all the business information to be everywhere all the time, rich, informative, structured, and with a ton of good reviews. That is the bottom line. If you do not have it today as a small business, as any business, just not just a small business, you're out of the game. You're just out. So this is a staple product. It's a must for any business, and that's why it's a simple sale.